Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of Air Hauler with MU Herd 37. I haven't flown in several days, and it's still the holidays and everything, so I haven't flown in several days, but I have been uh, opening up Air Hauler a couple times a day, give them a couple jobs, 2 or 3 jobs a day. As you can see right here, we're just shy of 275,000. So they've been doing their jobs, and it's been going fairly well, accumulating some good money. As you can see, they've also been dinging up the planes a little bit, but not too big a deal. Today is the first. Let me show you. Because it's the first, we had to pay all these bills. So we paid partial monthly leases, because I guess we have to pay it the first. Then the rest comes, at the due date. I don't know why, really, it does that. And also, we had to pay partial wages on the first. I don't know why those are like that. When you pay the base, you just pay it on the due date. You don't pay it any on the first. Obviously, these rates are all prorated. But I also have some good news about the planes. When I tried to import the Baron from Carenado, I had problems and everything. So I've been using the stock Baron. Now that we have the money, I'm just gonna buy caravans. So I tried importing those, and I keep having problems. So I searched around on the internet, and I saw a post from a couple years ago. Someone else was having problems. A bunch of people have had problems, actually. But one of the replies to the person was, go on, if you use EasyDock, open up the config tool and run that. Now, I remember seeing that before, that, when you import a plane, you're supposed to do that. I completely forgot about that. So I went ahead, opened up EasyDock, ran the config tool again, and voila, it all worked. The Baron works fine now. The several other planes work fine now that I was trying to import. So I think when we get enough money, which is hopefully not too long, I'll end up selling all these Barons, or not renewing the lease, whatever, selling them. I guess you got to, and importing or leasing the Barons from Coronado. They just look better. There's not any other difference than that. And I also have a Grand Caravan from Carenado that I'm also going to import in just a minute, and we'll get that. I've been trying to fly that Caravan, and I find it extremely difficult just because it's got the G1000 display. It doesn't have like normal gauges or anything, and I find those. I find it really hard to fly with that. It's really complicated to actually use that G1000. So I honestly really don't like flying it that much, but we will buy probably 1 or 2 of them for our AI pilots, and I'll fly one just a bit, just to switch it up, just to fly a different plane for once. Now, I wanted to show you something about the config files. When you go into your FSX directory right here, go to Sim Objects, Airplanes, and these are all your planes. You can see the Aerosoft. This is one that I've installed. I haven't imported it yet into Air Hauler. I can't remember it's the DH6. I can't remember what the heck the Twin Otter. That's one. It's a really, really good plane. I really like flying that one. Let's see. This is the FSX 208, and right here is the Carenado Grand Caravan right here. And this is the config file. This is I don't know what you call it, the important information for that it needs running the plane. And it's got certain things in it that Air Hauler uses that I'll show you in just a second. So what I do is I always copy this file, and let me show. I have another folder I'll show you. FSX stuff. See, I have a folder here, config files, and then here's the Carenado, and I just paste the original in there. So I always have a backup copy, because then I reconfigure them, and after I'm done reconfiguring them, I also put a copy there just so I always have it. But going back to the airplanes, Grand Caravan EX. Oh shoot, I already have that open, don't I? Alright, right here. You'll go down here, and this is similar. This setup is similar to what Microsoft does. A bunch of them are different the way they do it, but you can see right here the performance. You need things like this: the airspeed, maximum airspeed, the cruise airspeed. Just because it's done by a good company doesn't mean that's all correct. So I go through here and start editing stuff, and I try to get it as close as I can using stuff off the internet to try and get it exactly like it needs to be. Especially in air hauler, especially important is the weights, because it'll use these weights in your config file to determine how much cargo your plane can hold. So if the numbers aren't right, you may be able to carry way too much, or in a lot of cases you can't carry as much as you should be, and so that hurts you in air hauler. And as you can see right here, I think this is the one it actually probably uses your max weight, your empty weight, and then it'll use your how much fuel. Look over here, fuel capacity right here, and so it uses all these to figure out how much cargo your plane can carry, because like I said, the AI pilots have to fill up the fuel tanks before they can load cargo, so they always have to fly with the full tank. I have no idea why that is. I hate it, but that's the way it is. And a lot of these are set up actually different. I know when we do the Airbus A321, it's set up more like a paragraph instead of just a line like this and these two lines. It's actually set up in a paragraph, and you got to change all kinds of stuff. And also, like you take the PMDG 747-400, there's the 400 and then there's the 400 freighter, and you would think that they would have different config files, but they really don't. The weights and everything are actually the same in the config files, but in real life they obviously are not the same, because a freighter doesn't have the same weight because it doesn't have seats and everything, and it's sometimes they're configured a little bit different, so the weights are different. But sometimes the config files for different planes are the same. I think some of the A321s were just like that, where they didn't change stuff. I have no idea why they don't do that, but you need to change things like that. There's something else, some more stuff. There's a fuel area. Right here's your flaps. That's important information right there, because you can see the damaging speed. You need to know that, because when you go into air hauler, it'll ask you the VLE speed and the VFE speed. The VFE is how fast you can be going when you extend your flaps, that you don't damage them. So if you're going 175 knots or slower, you're all right when you extend your flaps in this plane. If you're over 175, you're going to damage it. The same thing is they have, I believe it's VLE. It's the landing gear. You won't see it usually in the config files, but air hauler will ask you about it. It's usually the same or a little bit faster than the flaps, and that's just how fast you can be going with your gear down before they get damaged. Let's see. Here's your fuel. On this particular plane, I didn't really change anything on the fuel. I think it was off by like 1 gallon, so there was no real reason to mess with that. But you need that kind of information. You don't really need to, but it's just for better realism on the plane and the capabilities of that plane. That's why I like tweaking those. So here are options, manage aircraft, and I'm going to go ahead and take these Caravan, and I'm going to remove them because these are the stock ones. Obviously, I'm not going to buy the stock ones, so I'll go ahead and take these out. Alright, then we're going to come over here to aircraft details, or no, sorry, import custom aircraft. Here you have a bunch of different planes, right? Now this is the, 1 second, sorry, phone was going off. Here's the Grand Caravan, and here's the Grand Caravan EX that we're going to use. But so you could just click that and import. I'm going to go directly to the config file though. Here's the Grand Caravan EX. Import it. And these are all the different liveries or different planes. A lot of times it'll show you the liveries. It'll give, if you got like American Airlines or all that kind of stuff, this is where you select those, which ones you want to import. And they're imported successfully. So now you need the cruise speed, and I should have gotten that. So we go back to that config file. The cruise speed is 175 knots. Let's come over here. 175 knots. Also, the flap damage, those are 175, so that's correct. The range is also in the config file. Let's see, maximum range. Oh, geez. It was 792, I believe. Yes, 792 nautical miles. We come in here, and 792 nautical miles. Now, fuel consumption. This one you have to try and figure out. I'm going to go for, let's go for 50 U.S. gallons per hour. That's your fuel burn. I'm just going to do that for right now. All right. Now that we've got that, we have to actually figure out the fuel burn. And the way I do that, I come over, and you have to have the money, obviously, to get the plane. This is how we do. This is how I do it, at least. I'm gonna take a plane like this, and let's go ahead and lease it. Congratulations, you leased it. Now the lease deposit was 161, so I think more than what the normal one was. It doesn't matter. So now that we come over here, you'll notice we have a ton more jobs because we just leased a plane. Let's do it by fee. As you can see, these pay a heck of a lot more. I'm going to pick one at Huntington, just a random one, because I'm not going to actually keep this. I could keep it for my other pilots. Alright, you select by yourself, take the Grand Caravan, go through here, and see we can go with a full tank 1,155 miles. Well, the range, like I said, is 792. So this needs to be 792. So we cancel out. It needs to burn more fuel than that. So we come over here to Fleet, click on that, Aircraft Details, and we need to increase this. So I'll increase it to, I'll go 58. Hit OK. Come over here, go back to that job, or my jobs. Fly it by myself, the Caravan. Go through here, fill it up. Now it's 996. We still haven't done enough. And so basically, this is how you do it. You just keep going back here. Burn a little more. Let's go 62. The regular Caravan was actually 52, but it had a longer range. So, Caravan. 931. Geez, we're not making that great progress. Aircraft Details. Let's go for 70. We come through here. Almost there. Sorry, this is taking a while. It does take a while to try and get it, you know, to as close as you can. With a plane like this, because the fuel tanks aren't huge, you won't be able to get exact. But with the bigger planes and the huge fuel tanks, just moving it a gallon and everything can have a, you can get it pretty much straight on. Alright, hopefully one more will do it. I try to get it as close as I can. Maybe I'll do it a little too much, trying to be too perfect, but it's just the way I do it. And there is an important reason to go ahead and get this. try one more. Jeez, I don't know why it's not moving that much. It doesn't have that huge a fuel tank. All right, 791. So we need 792. 791 is close enough. So I'm going to cancel that. I'm going to check, make sure what was that I used. 73. So you need to remember to come over here to where you imported those planes, all these Caravan EXs, aircraft details. Go to 73. Because that one we changed is just the one we had. You need to come back here, so anytime you buy one of these Grand Caravans, you'll already have it set up. Just go through here, and I'll do that on all of them. Now, that's all there really is to it. I like to try and get all the weights and the fuel and everything as realistic as I can. I don't know why I necessarily do that. Some people probably don't care that much. I do. I don't know why, like I say, but I try to get it as close on as I can. So I guess that's about it for this episode. Just wanted to show you the progress we're getting. We've done everything's going pretty good. I mean, we've got good money. Check the finance. See, our monthly overhead now is $200,000. Got 113 left. What I'll probably do is get another pilot. I don't know if there's any good ones. Well, we do have a first officer here who's pretty good. I want to go ahead, since we're going to be buying a couple planes. We just bought the one we had. I'm gonna hire this crew member, first officer, 100%. I'll take that any day. I'm also going to go ahead and get this second officer. As you can see, sometimes you get these worthless pilots, but this second officer is decent because it's 86. When she gets to first officer, hopefully she'll be around 90. Then you got captain, senior captain, training captain, stuff like that. So by the time she starts leveling up, she will be around 100%. There we go. I bet that this. What was the cargo? All right. It can hold 1,800 pounds. So that would be 2 trips. I'm going to go ahead and we already accepted it. Sorry. I'm going to put my AI crew on it. I get Cole. He's the new guy. I'll end up putting Jasmine on it because she's already has more hours with us and everything. So I'll eventually get them back to Huntington and switch the planes. But for right now, I'll go ahead and have this guy do it. And I need to get myself off that job, out of that plane. Where is it? Clear current pilot. There we go. So now AI crew. Let's get Cole. The Caravan. We'll take him 2 trips, but that's fine. So 20. We've done 8. So 5 hours. And by that time, we'll probably have enough money to lease another plane. Was 161. Yeah, we'll probably have enough. And then I'll lease another one, and I'll fly a job for another episode. I haven't flown in a while, so I'll fly a Caravan. But that's it for this episode. I'll see you guys on the next flight.